relaxing. Does he have his arm around my neck
Well,
yet?
he's got his hand around your neck. He's got his hand pressed on that artery. He's telling you if you don't do what he says, he's going to hurt you.
Yeah.
You play along. You relax your body. He's got his hand over your chest. He's got your arm. Let me look at you. Your arm.
I'm here. I just wanted to show you guys who have been waiting patiently. I finally got this to work, okay? This took about 16 times today.
Bend it.
So the second part is up there.
Touch your neck for me.
So I just wanted to let you know that.
Touch your neck.
Okay. That was incredible. You're confused? Mom of 4 girls, I was on a field trip today. And hang on a minute. There's something wrong with my thingamajiggy here. I had it enlarged. Okay. You were just looking for that? Deborah, it's up now. What a day. Okay. I tried to upload it last night because I wanted to put Foxy Bot's part separate, not in that big live. Well, I tried to upload the whole thing. It would not. YouTube was glitching on me so bad. So when I got up this morning to go on the field trip, oh, wait till you hear about the field trip. You're not even going to believe, but okay. So I said, okay, well, I'll just, I'll upload it again. So I left it going when I left, right? And it was at 95%. And I left. And then I started to get a message. It came through my phone. Even though I don't have good service, I got the message, of course. Oh, sorry. And the message says, there's something wrong with the sound. It cuts out after 20 minutes. And I'm like, what? Came home. Then I finally got the first. I said, I'm going to have to do it in parts. Finally got the first part up. Second part took like 16 times. That's why I'm late tonight, because it just finished. I said, if the sound isn't there, I'm going to freak. But let me say hi to everybody. Hi, Ocean Girl. Hi, let me see. Where was GB? Ooh, I don't even see GB. Hi, April. Hi, Sharon. Lisa, Tabby, Muka, Carla, Peggy, Mama 4 Girls, Joe Schmo, Jen Proctor, Joe, Peggy Sue, Mandy Hall, Whisper to Me, Jaos, Dalia, Jennifer Tonks, Laura, Mary Kim, Leisha, Patty and Jack, Adrienne, Mildly Sunny, Miss Mary, Anna, JW, It's Pickle Pie, Lena, Mystery Truth Seeker, Helen, Margot, Diane, Tori, Elise, Joe, Deborah, Dana, Julie, Seaglass, Manyval, what the heck? I got Joe, I got you guys. Let's see here. Ocean Girl, I got you. Aussie, Donnie, Danielle, Tori, I think I got you. That was a favorite, wasn't it? Carla, yeah, you have to go back and look at that. She was behind in the thing. Put your hands to your neck. Put your hands to your neck. They are on my neck. Okay, so let's see what else. Who we have? Brenda, Wildlife, Zelda. Hey, Zelda. 102. Zelda, aren't you in like Washington State or Oregon? Patty, Baby Girl Crystal, Vala, Jeannie, Irish Eyes. After listening to Amber's testimony, I want to apologize for previous night's post. I'm glad to hear she got her high school diploma. Yeah, we're going to go over Amber's testimony. She got a lot of lies, and not just lies, but misinformation or non-information out there. Yeah, she did, Tori. Lori Lit Lolo, Hi Sage Tree, Hi Rise Up, Hi The Hanson, Dirt Road Dinny, Hi Laura Stewart, Rochelle, Hi, if I missed you, I see you too. Hi Charlene. Charlene, how are your peonies blooming? Mine aren't blooming yet. Huh. But it's weird because when I was driving home from the field trip, somebody else's peonies were like almost at their end. It's crazy. Okay. All right. So where was I? Okay. Quick note on the field trip. So it was myself and this other mother. We had a group of 10, okay? And it's a colonial museum, but they reenact everything. So you go, where's High 69? You probably would love this. No, he likes Civil War. Okay, there's Revolutionary War. You go from place to place with the kids. And so we first get there, they shoot some guns off, and then we had to go to the armory. And so there's an older man, big white beard and stuff, showing the actual artifacts, the guns that were used in the Revolutionary War and stuff. And we're in this cabin, okay, like a log cabin. It's got a wood floor. There's one of those colonial type, really heavy, like almost like a captain's armchair against the one wall. It's a small cabin. Now, as we're going with the group, this guy that I know who has a badge on him starts like following us. And I'm thinking, like, I'm telling you, I truly was thinking that he had something going with the other lady that was there, okay? Because I didn't recognize where I recognized him from. But he looked like he worked at the place. And I'm like, why is this guy hanging out with us, right? And he was at the door of the cabin. And we're watching, and the guy's taking down the bayonet, and you could use it as shish kebab store. All of a sudden, you just hear this bang, 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 bang. One of the kids, okay, at first I thought it was kids fooling around, right? Like they pushed and one fell. He passed out cold, out on the ground. So then I'm thinking, oh no, is he going to have a seizure? Because I've had that happen with kids. Okay, at a roller skating party, someone's daughter had a grand mal seizure right there, bam. So I'm like, oh my gosh. The guy that's at the door jumps in and gets on the other side. And then the woman that I was with, like she hadn't talked to me a lot at that point. She jumps in there. So I grabbed all the other kids, the 9 kids, and pushed, we all pushed back to give them room. And then I heard the man say, this happened once at school. So I'm like, okay, that's his dad. So I said to Luke, is that his dad? He's like, yeah, that's his dad. Mom, don't you remember? That's his dad from baseball. Okay. And I was like, all right. I didn't know. And he's like, yeah, he runs the place, or I don't know what he does. But thank goodness he was there at that very moment, because this wasn't like anything usual that happens with this kid. Like it happened once, he said. So from that point, he came right to, but then they went to sit him up on the chair, and he looked like he was going to pass out again, so they had to keep him laid down on the floor. And then we had to change stations. So then they're like, you guys go to the Skinner, okay? So I'm taking these kids by myself to the Skinner. And she was an emergency room nurse. Did I say that? So she's back there, and there got the kid on the ground. And this happens to be a very, very good friend of Luke's, okay? He's on the ground with the father, and the woman that's all dressed up, I'd say, I don't know. First she says to me, nice camera. She's asking me about the camera. And then she notices, and she's like, what's that? And I told her. And she's going, and you could tell she was so totally preoccupied with this. Now, the teacher didn't even know, because we didn't even know where she was, okay? She was somewhere, and Luke's going, Mom, we've got to tell Mrs. So-and-so, we've got to tell. I'm like, just relax, right? So now she's looking, but she's trying to tell the kids about these knives. But you can tell she's totally preoccupied with this other thing. And she's like, what happened? And I'm like, I'm telling her. And I was like, then she's like, oh no, don't give him water when he's laying down. And then she's like, excuse me a minute. You just have to excuse me. So she's like, I'm an EMT. So she goes flying around. And then I guess she said what she had to say, and she came back, and then she finished. And then poor kid, like then he was up by the next one. He was sitting down on his father stayed with us the whole time. In fact, the woman had to go with another thing because another chaperone left. So it ended up being him and I for the rest of the time. But then by the end, the boy was feeling better, but he had, I guess he had a big bump on his head. Or I don't know how big. It had an ice pack, but it was crazy. Really crazy. So, yeah, it was, but they were all, these kids had such empathy. especially, and Luke's like, oh, he doesn't feel good, or, you okay, you okay? And then I saved the day for some little boy, because there's like these wooden guns that you can buy that colonial times they make, right? And he comes up at the end and he shows the other woman that was with me, and he's like, you could see his gun. I wish I had Luke's. It just like clearly broke off, like right on the line. Like you could tell there was something. So she's like, oh, well, that's too bad. You better get wood glue. And he's like, I don't know if my mom has wood glue at home. And then she's just like, no. And I could see he got really upset, and he went and he sat over there, and I said to him, hey, go in there and show the lady the thing, because how did that happen? And he said, it just fell right here and it just did that. So I said, what's the worst? He goes, no, she's going to say no. And I said to him, is that the worst she's going to say is no? But what if she says yes? I actually told this kid this. But what if she says yes? That looks like a fault. It's right on the line. Go bring it in to her. So he goes, brings it in, and then he comes out. I said, what happened? He goes, she told me to get another one. I said, so you happy now? He goes, yeah, thanks. And he goes, I told her thank you. I said, well, that's good. And then Luke takes his arm, and he's like, you good now? You good now? You're good? You're okay? And he's like, yeah. So, I mean, it's like, I don't know why she wouldn't just say, like, I don't know. I hate to see kids upset, because he just, like, I mean, it was clear. It was just right on the line, as if it had like a fault for it. But anyway, all's well. Now, then, when I was there, what else happened? Oh, the bus ride, everything was okay. Oh, on the way there, listen to this. Luke and I are driving, because I had to drive to the school with Luke. We see this huge turtle on the side of the road. I told you Jimmy moved a snapping turtle. I have the picture on my card. I'll have to put it on here. I'm sure it was a snapping turtle, because it looked just like that turtle that Jimmy moved the other day. And I did not get punched at all. No, they really liked me. Didn't get punched at all. So I said to Luke, I got to turn around and take a picture or something. So we turned around, then Luke was out the window taking a picture, and then there was a car behind us, but I have it there. So kids are so sweet. Yeah, I mean, no reason to get upset about something like that, because I'm just thinking, like, I don't know this kid's story. Like, what if his mom, she's single mom, he's got to come home. The minute he comes home, he's screaming about, look what happened to my gun. Now you got to find the wood glue. And like, how do I know his mother didn't work like this insane day at some office, right? So that's it. That's why I did that. And I don't like to see people unhappy over like something silly. Okay. So now let's get to Amber. Where's my stuff? So Amber had a very good day on the stand, right? I think everybody, I mean, I was getting stuff from you guys before I had even seen it. So then I watched it when I got home. Then I was trying to upload this video, or I would have been on earlier. I have another early day tomorrow. I have to go out with my other son, not on a field trip, but we have to do some stuff at the DMV. Fun times. Okay. All right, so Amber gets on the stand. She was brave, yes. And they ask her about the relationship in the beginning with Tim, and she said, well, it was very strong in the beginning. They had a lot in common. Okay, but then it was volatile on both parts. So she doesn't sugarcoat it. She, puts her own fault in there, right? Got to the point that any little thing would spark an argument, and these became very aggressive. Again, she says on both parties. When it came to separating, because they thought that would be the best thing for the kids, she couldn't provide for them. And she was making the best choice at the time. She trusted him. She said he had been a good father. And where was I? So she said that they had joint custody, but she gave him primary physical custody, and she apologized for everyone that had to sit through this. And she apologized that the jury had to go through and see this stuff, and that no one saw what was coming. Even Tim's family, she said there were a lot of good times, but they had to make a choice to separate. So Tim left, and when he left, he shut her electricity. So there you go, okay? So he left, he shuts her electricity. So now, how is she even going to take care of the kids? She doesn't have a job. And he shuts her electricity. Catwoman, he has an engineering degree in computer science. I believe it's computer science. So, and I believe it's a magna cum laude degree. Okay, so let's see, where was I? So she said, I personally can't bring myself, because they're starting to ask about the death penalty, right? To want someone to die. But I hear what my kids went through, and as a mother, I want to personally rip his face off. Okay, as that mama bear in her, she says. Hey, J-Bells. But she doesn't feel it's personally her right to put anyone else's life, she doesn't want to take anyone else's life in her hands and decide death. She feels for the Jones family. She feels for the way it affected the jury, the way it's affected the people watching. She still prays for Tim and his family and her family. And she can't bring herself to want anyone to die. There's been a lot of loss. Her aunt died the first day of the trial from kidney failure. She's had many losses. She had 5 children with him. She had 2 miscarriages and 1 stillborn baby. She sympathizes with Miss Roberta because of Miss Roberta's losses. She's always been able to connect with her when she was with Tim. But again, he didn't show any mercy for her children. And she's found out many things along with the general public of what happened that she didn't know before, okay? She said, but my kids loved him. The mom in her wants him to feel everything he did. And then she speaks directly, I froze for a minute. Then she speaks directly to Tim. She speaks directly to him. She says, nothing could justify what you have done to my babies. And, she says, I pray for mercy for you. It's not excusing you for what. Then she goes back and forth between speaking to him and then going back to just speaking to the jury. So she tried to make it work, and then it didn't work. She prays for mercy for you, that she's speaking to him. Not excusing, then she switches. She's not excusing him for what he did. But there's been so much loss, a lot of loss. And then in the cross, the prosecutor says, well, it's 5 beautiful souls, right? And she says, yes, I have a 3-year-old now who looks identical to Mira, but she's not Mira. And they said, even though you weren't in the courtroom, you watched every bit of this trial. She said, I watched every bit of this trial. And Ton made his presence known with the Woody that suddenly started talking, the Woody, his little doll. And they said, even though you didn't have physical means to take care of your children, you certainly had love, right? And important things like that. And she said, yes, every night I phoned them and I told them, they knew that you loved them, yes. And I told them they were wanted, they were loved and important every night. And Tim knew you loved them, yes. And on August 28th, he knew you loved them, yes. And you were the last person to speak to Nathan, yes. You have a subpoena to be here, yes. And let's say you do not want to be the one to decide about the death penalty. No, she doesn't. That's why we have the jury, she said. And she says, this is not my choice, the death penalty, but she will respect the jury in whatever they choose. Okay? And she knows that the state is asking the jury to choose this. It's a death penalty case. And you respect the state's right to seek the death penalty. Yes. But you don't want to make that decision. No. Okay? As a mother, any mother would want to shred the face off anyone that hurt their children. She said, I didn't have a choice. I didn't have a chance to hear what happened fully. I found out with the rest of the world. And any mom hearing this stuff would say, as a mom hearing this stuff, she wants to say, fry him, absolutely. But she strongly believes in no death penalty. And they said, well, let's talk about some stuff Tim did. So she said, yes, he tried to play chicken with the kids in the back seat when they were coming from Walmart one day, and there was an 18-wheeler coming, and he positioned their vehicles so that the 18-wheeler would hit Amber head on, but it would have also killed everyone in the car. And at the last minute, he swerved away. She said she reported him for that. She told him not to do it. Other times, did he ever lay hands on you? Yes, he did. You told law enforcement about it? Yes, she did. Tim grabbed her by the side of the head and he headbutted her and she blacked out and came to later. He threw a phone at her face and he broke her back teeth out. Tim would regularly spit in her face, and she said it's not just like a little spit. She said he would really spit in her face, okay, quite graphically. He would smack her head against the window of a car. He would stop the car short when she was pregnant so that the seatbelt would cut into her. He told her that he would chop her up, and he had a lot of verbal abuse. He would chop her up and feed her to pigs, and they would eat every part of her except her teeth, and she would never be able to be found. She's not going to lie. She doesn't want everyone to think she's innocent in all this. She's had her own part of stuff, but their relationship was like a tornado and a hurricane. Okay. When she would go for family dinners, that was the only time she basically got out of the house. She had no car. She didn't have a license. She was having to homeschool the kids, and so she would commiserate with her mother-in-law and vent, and then that all changed when he moved them out of that area back to South Carolina. Then she had no one. She was stuck there and homeschooling with no car, couldn't go anywhere. Anybody would go stir crazy kind of thing, cabin fever, whatever you want to call it. They talked about the Mira and Eli videos. And did you discuss with Tim these recordings? Yes, I did. So she said he was using the kids in an effort to get her to come back. And she wanted to shelter them from all of this stuff, but she couldn't. They saw a lot of this stuff. And he was not only tormenting her, he was tormenting them. So everything was very draining. She's not going to sugarcoat it to benefit anyone. Nathan and Mira wanted to go with her. She only missed 2 visits, contrary to what's been said. And she said, pictures Tim holding Gabe. Oh, the pictures of Tim holding Gabe. She took those pictures. She was there. That was during her visitation. The co-parenting was going fine, but they had volatile phone conversations on a regular basis. She went back, got her high school diploma. She became a manager of Walmart. She tried to better her life. So he would work with her at times, but then he would make things like really difficult. He would schedule a visitation when he knew she was working. She would call and say, I can't, I'm working, I can't get off then. And he would be like, yeah, it wasn't going to change. So let's see here. What else do I have? Oh, then she said, yes, there was a lot of lies too about Sean, okay, her now husband. So before we got into that, they said, well, what about Crystal Valentine? Did she tell you that that he would tell the children that you did not love them? Yes. And she was not aware of that because she showed it to them often. That's why this is why she wrote letters to them. She believed that a parent should act in the way they want their children to act. That's why she wrote those letters of apology. If you're wrong, you apologize, even if it's to your child, and you model that behavior that you want them to have. She told them again all the time, you are loved, you are wanted, you are important. And the last memory she has of the kids was, especially Nathan, was when they met in a Chick-fil-A parking lot. And Nathan came with a checkered shirt that she still has, and she will not wash because it has his smell on it, with his arms open, crying, "Mommy, mommy, mommy." And she said, "Whoa, son, you're going to get hit by a car." And then he gave her the tightest hug. And it would kill her if she knew that the children died thinking that she didn't love them. So who did he have the biggest resentment or something with? It was Nathan and Mira, because they were the ones she defended the most, because they wanted to live with the mother. And so he had this resentment towards those two children more than any others. And, she thinks it wasn't that she didn't fight hard enough. It's that she didn't want to put them into a tug of war. She thought this was best, and, sadly, it wasn't. She defended Nathan that night. Okay, and he would make statements like, you are never having the kids, you will never have the kids, they will never live with you. So she said, we had joint custody, there was nothing wrong found by the court why she couldn't have the children. And again, she got the high school diploma, the management job, but it was never good enough. And the lies told about Sean, he was 24 when they got together, not 17, and she was 27. But she wasn't aware of Crystal, and she found out about that, and she was the one that was 17, okay? So she found out from the guardian ad litem, told her who was watching the kids. She wanted to watch the kids. They weren't even divorced, and he had moved Crystal, 17 years old, into the house. But literal interpretation of the Bible, remember? So he was sleeping with a 17-year-old, not her. Everything she's accused of is the opposite. And then was a redirect. Despite all this, do you want Tim to be put to death? No. And then the prosecution did a redirect, and they said, but you're okay if not making the decision. And she said, I am. Okay, so that was Amber. And then I have some on the social worker, but I didn't go into that whole family history of it yet. I just went into the one part with the social worker, and then I did look at the rest of the Tim Jones Sr., but I want to see if there's anything that you guys have said on the Amber. Seeing Amber, keep it kind, said, seeing Amber made me so sad. Condolences and prayers are with you. Anyone else think the redhead next to Tim? No. JB, we discussed who she was the other night when Von Solo sent us something. She's not Boyd's daughter. She's an attorney. And she was put there because Tim was bothering Boyd and the other defense attorneys like crazy. She used to sit behind him, so now she's the official hand holder. Tina says, I was so happy for Amber when she looked at him and said it was a lie. They said Amber didn't want her kids. Peggy Sue, still no sound. What's no sound? No, it has sound. What are you talking about? Patty and Jack says, do you think the jury is going to go with her wishes and no death penalty? I don't know, Patty and Jack. I don't know. I'm thinking, I'm thinking they're not going to give him the death penalty. I don't know. You were so proud of her for doing that, Sheila. There has been a slow reduction in Tim's meds in preparation for his testimony. You might have noticed more movement. In Tim Jr.? How do you know he's testifying? Teresa, I am glad she told the jury everything. Tomorrow I heard that they announced it was going to be the rest of the Jones family, like his half-brothers, I believe his stepmother, his cousin maybe, because they went to their seats and they said to them, we're going to start with you guys tomorrow. He only watched a few minutes, Maribel says, but when I did, I had my hands over my face, and peeked through my fingers. It was too painful. Oh, keep it kind. We miss you too. I was just wondering. You haven't been here in a while. Okay. No driver's license. Right, Victoria. No driver's license. Peggy says, oh, Lori Lillette, my brother wants me. Margot says, I was surprised she had a daughter. I would be institutionalized after what happened. I really wouldn't be able to handle that. Well, she's very strong there, Margot. Amber is strong. I will continue to pray for her. Seeing Amber made me so sad. Anyone else think? Okay, we got that one. I'm trying to go through your comments so I don't. Hey, Tico. Amber's subpoena's testimony. I'm glad that you're an excellent. Okay. When the Woody doll. Oh yeah, right. When the Woody doll spoke, definitely, and she said that was a sign, definitely from Nathan. Tim made a weird, sad face for like 5 minutes. Manyville girl says, and then he did that awful blink with his that he always does, and wipes his eyes with his little hanky. Yes. His little hankies. Oh, you didn't hear it, Tico? You should really hear Amber's testimony, yeah. I don't think this jury will come back with the death after Amber's testimony, Stacy says. I'm very disappointed in that, but those are her wishes, and you have to respect that. Seaglass and Shell said, can anyone blame her for leaving that relationship? Muka77 says, what a sick person. Teresa says, I know it was difficult to talk about the abuse, but it was good that she said all of those details of what happened to her from Tim's abuse. Joe Schmo says, I was glad Amber set the record straight about her husband's age and her age when they first got together. Tim had a 17-year-old living with him while he was still married. Mildly Sunny says, oh my gosh, the spitting nauseated me. He's a cruel narcissistic brat. No woman needs this low life of society. I'm sure drugs were involved, Catwoman says. Amber has more forgiveness in her heart than I could ever give, Patty and Jack. Jamie says the Jones social history, what a nightmare, starting with the grandma pregnant at 11 from the stepfather. What the H? Dana said, oh, Hennessy says, did not like the social worker today, so hopefully the prosecution can break her. We have heard enough from about the Jones family. No, there's going to be more tomorrow. They're having his half-brothers and stuff on there. Amber's gracious to Tim Sr. even after he tries his best to blame her. Yeah, Victoria, she's, for the whole family, she's praying for them and feels for them. The grandmother too, Roberta. Miracle Heart 2 says, I really respect that she acknowledges some responsibility. Bless her. He enjoyed treating her that way. And the same with the kids, says Linda. Teresa says, Amber has helped so many women that listened to her and were in the same situation. She showed strength that other women can learn from. Absolutely. There is a lot of, that she can offer other women. I mean, they may not be in the exact same situation, but with her going through something and getting through it and moving, on, she can offer strength even in the most, dismal of circumstances where people don't know how to go on. You were so impressed by Amber, Ashley. I hope when Amber is strong enough, you'd love her to come in to chat, tell us more about her beautiful children, of course. Yes, Lisa. Amber made it clear, Hennessy says, that she would be okay with the death penalty decision from the jury. Yes, she did. She just did not want to be the one to have the blood on her hands, correct? And Sarah says, Joe Schmo, exactly. He was 24 and she was 27, and his family adored her because of the amazing person she is. Tim is a narcissist and a hateful person. He has no remorse or guilt. Teresa, that was heartbreaking about Nathan. And Joe says, Amber's testimony highlighted the vindictive, angry, abusive ways. It's a valuable testimony today. And Kathy said they knew she loved them. She was a good mother. I was in tears when she listed all the things she would never have with the kids. Oh, yeah, that's right, Sheila, that she wouldn't have grandchildren and all of that stuff with the kids when she was talking about losses. Hey, Bridget. Hey, Sharon. Okay, so she spoke straight to him. Wow, yeah, she did. I now have my sound back. Just wanted to tell Amber, you're an amazing lady. Peggy Sue got married. Jamie says, I'm not as gracious as Amber. I would have said, I don't want to decide his fate, but give you license to put him to death. You stayed awake long enough to make alive. Hey, Dale. Okay, so let's look at how many. They're calling a lot, Sharon. Yeah. Adrian, you're not on timeout. If you were on timeout, you couldn't be typing and we couldn't read your comment. Did you put too much? If you type too much in and hit enter, it'll take your comment out. You can only put 200 characters. If you go over 200 characters, it will get rid of your comment and you'll think you're on timeout. Judy says, Cindy's had a terrible family life. They were really mentally sick. Roberta is a real piece of work. I mean alcoholic for years. Okay, and when they met, she said, she wasn't in touch with her family and he wasn't in touch with his, that she thought, okay, so let's go just real quick about the social worker, and then I'll go back to the part that I missed about Tim. I saw the tattoos today. So the social worker just mainly went over Tim's life, that he was caught, his first trouble started when he was caught with marijuana at school. He was sent into a treatment program, 4 to 5 months, which he did, but then he failed the class, and then he got 3 Ds. So he enlisted in the Navy in his senior year, and he had a discussion with them about the marijuana charge. And they gave him a waiver because he was in treatment and he was no longer using. And they went on that this depression, you could see it at 18, because that's what the Navy, that's why he was asked, he was discharged from the Navy because of the depression. So it was from the time he was 18 is what they're trying to say. Then he came home to Tim Sr.'s home, and that home is not, the best, because they're saying there's a lot of substance abuse, alcohol abuse going on there. He was still drinking. And then Tim was drinking. He tried heroin and coke. You're not really trying heroin. Okay. Once you usually start that, it's usually a little more than that. So coke, he was getting into trouble. And Tim Sr. said at this time he was talking out of his head. That's how he described him. He started getting in trouble with the law. He had arrests. He would go off on his dad and just say, have another drink. Go have another drink. He did not make things better. And then he was arrested for possession of a controlled substance. Larry died in a Tim's brother, who's only 4 years older than Tim, died in a motorcycle accident. So then Tim got into trouble again with the law. He was sent to a prison in Illinois, and they said, we're not going to go into this because we already went into this in the trial. We're just going to, gloss over this. 16 months in the county jail, and then boot camp where he met this pastor, Sutton, right? And when he was in prison, they diagnosed him with substance abuse, and ruled out personality disorder with narcissistic traits. Then he found this church, his Pentecostal church. This is 2003 with the pastor Sutton. We know all about that, so they didn't go into that. He was on parole. He did excellent. He had a great prognosis. He started attending church. He met Amber. He got married. The pastor Sutton said that the passion he had for his faith was real, and his literal interpretation of scripture was real. So, but he was really not getting on with his family because they were embarrassed by him. When he would go to the house, he would run around the house speaking in tongues. He said to his family that if you do not accept this faith, you're going to hell. If you don't believe in the literal interpretation of the Bible, again, the same thing. The brother went to church with him one day, and Tim just jumped up and started speaking in tongues, and his brother was kind of embarrassed by it. And he imposed his views on them. And then once he said to the grandmother that his little niece was demon possessed, and he could see it in her eyes, and to get her away from him. And then this social worker is saying, oh, this is the baggage that he was carrying, and what he has, gives him problems with boundaries, and he doesn't have empathy and identifying his own emotions and the emotions of others. And he has a feeling of not belonging. And, he didn't have good parenting role models. But even so, he went to community college where he graduated with a 4.0, and he went on to Mississippi State, and he succeeded there, as a 26-year-old. Then Mira and Eli were born 11 months apart. And then either slightly before that, he wanted to learn about Cynthia, his mother. So they found her, and they brought her to the house, and it was a terrible experience, And Tyler, the half-brother, described her as a crazy ball bat with no soul and blank eyes, not a positive experience. And Tim kind of felt, if this is my future, he was just, it was totally backfired. Now they talk a little bit more about Cindy, and that at one point she showed up in Syracuse, New York, but she couldn't tell anyone where she was from. She said her name was Eve Jones, not Cynthia Jones, and she was in a state of what they called fugue state, which is a type of amnesia. And she has no ability to live independently, So, and then she's, then there was the whole family tree stuff, and I just, not now, not today. Tim Jones Jr., the part that I missed yesterday because I finished up at the end, so I'll just go over that. Tim June, they were showing videos, the pool video, just showing the interaction, right, between the kids and stuff. And then talking about how much he loved the kids and where they slept in the house and all of this stuff, just to define that he was close to them and loved them. When Tim was arrested again, they just did the same thing that you've heard over and over, that Tim Sr. went down there. Tim wanted to know where his grandchildren were. Tim wanted to assist them in every way. He was cooperative in every way. Okay. Do you want to see your son put to death? No. Okay. He said he has more guilt for the babies than anyone. And were you were a good dad, you were involved in, this is the cross, okay, asking Tim Sr., you were a good dad, you were involved in activities, you went to special events, you spent time with them. Yes, but Timmy never felt that I ever loved him, he said. I don't think he ever knew that I loved him. I don't even think now I don't even think he thinks I loved him now. Well, did he reciprocate that love? He said, I don't think he believed that I loved him. And so of course when they're 6 or 7, they're going to give you those big hugs. But as they get older, no, he would go to his room or he'd say something. Was it like walking on eggshells? Yes, it was. He would challenge you more. Yes. So he would go to his room. He wouldn't talk to you. So he was punishing you, right? Well, I thought I was punishing him, but I guess you could say that, did you love the grandbabies more than anything? Was he supposed to see you with them on Labor Day? Yes, he was. If something was wrong, did Tim know that you would always take the grandbabies, that he could leave them with you, that you would love them? Yes, he did. But then he said, I don't know then, if he did. Okay, maybe he didn't know. Because he didn't know that he loved him. And then, how did you memorialize them? So he gets up, takes off his shirt, shows the big tattoo, and then everything that we went through yesterday I went through the other stuff with Tim yesterday. So if you missed it, you have to go back to the video. But Tim was gone with his mom for a year, and Tim Sr. did not check on Cindy's mom when she had the baby. What happened? So there's also a couple other things I have to make an announcement before I forget about the trial. Let me see here. Okay, so that trial that we heard about, that was supposed to be June 17th, remember? So I've been updated that the trial has been continued. So she's not going to be Veronica is not going to be testifying on Monday, and will reach out when. So anybody that was planning to be at that courthouse in Las Vegas or Nevada on Monday, Veronica will not be testifying then. And there will be another date and time, and we will announce it, the time and place on the air, so that the Ramblers that want to go down there can. But as you know, it's been continued, so it's not happening Monday. And we got it's been continued for another month and a half. Okay. And then there was another thing. Oh yeah, there's some kind of a petition. Hang on here. That I've been told about. Trying to find the petition. Oh, here it is. Let me see this. Okay, I'm just going to put this, hang on. This is a petition I was asked to share. It's about, I'm just sharing it. I'm not saying that you need to sign it or not. This is up to you. It is a petition to tear down the Watts family residence due to the horror and disturbing events. And I believe, let me see what they want to put up instead. I thought the right thing to do is tear down the house. I am proposing a green garden area in place of the home with green grass, large trees, a water feature, and park benches. See, I just wonder if they just sent this to me, so I don't know anything about this. Like I said, I'm just passing it on. I'm not involved in this at all, except they've asked me to promote it. But I'm not sure if, what the ordinances are there. If they're able to just put a park in like that. You know what I mean? I don't know if they've checked that out. So I'll put it in here, but you can check it out. Again, no, it's not going to let me share that. Hang on. I wish that I had a shorter link to that. Hang on. Why don't they give you... Oh, here it is. Oh, she doesn't have the link there. Well, it's not going to let me post the link because it's too big. I'm going to give you the name of it. You can look in change.org. I'm going to give you the exact title of it. I'm sure if you put that in change.org, it will come up. Yeah, old woman, I'm not sure. There's a lot of things that I'm seeing with the petition that are not, I don't think they've, might not have thought some of this through. That's why I'm saying I'm not involved with it at all. I just got an email. I'm thinking, number one, they need to check out ordinances. Number two, they can't just tear it down. Someone needs to put up the money to buy it out from the bank. I'm very confused. Hi Anna, what's my opinion on what? Yeah, Sheila, I'm kind of thinking that. Yeah, Muka77, a park could be a good idea, but what are the ordinances? And it doesn't seem to have a plan. Someone has to buy, the bank's just not going to say, okay, that's fine that we'll lose all that money. It's business for them, okay? And I want to really thank you for showing us hands-on how to get on the work from home sites. Oh, you're welcome, Danielle. Casey Anthony will be having her own reality show. I've heard that for a long time and never seen anything. What's going on with the book club? I'm going to get back on it, Little Lady Di. I have just had a horrendous... I have the chapters ready. I've got to put them up and get them going on. But my weeks have been like nutso. And tomorrow I've got to go running around again now. It's just with the trial, that's what it is. It's like so much of your day is there taking notes. But I'm going to get it, I promise. I don't think the petition will go anywhere. Yeah, I don't think so either, Mildly Sunny. I don't know. I'm not even aware of the person that's promoting, that started it. I don't know anything about it, but I think that there is some serious issues with it. Sorry to say that it doesn't make sense. Right, I know. And that's a homeowners association, and they're going to be quite strict about what's allowed. And the neighbors are just going to be like, well, now we want a park here. They might not take very kindly to that. And that's going to be increased traffic. There's so many things involved with that. Okay, you can't just like throw a park in somewhere. That's the thing. It's the end of school. At least yeah, and like, you don't know how freaked out I was. I'm driving in the school today and I go past the board, where they put everything. And whoever set that board up, oh my gosh, they did it so stupid. It said June 11th. And then it listed all these things. And it said like 6th grade stepping up ceremony. And I'm like, 6th grade stepping up ceremony? It's tonight? I am like freaking out. And so then when Luke and I got back, we picked up Ethan and I took them both home. And I'm like, Ethan, is this tonight? And he's like, I don't know. I'm like, did the teacher say anything? No. So then I'm looking on the school website, nothing. And then we found out, yeah, it's next Wednesday. It's crazy. Hi, Cinnamon. Hi, Team Phoenix. I believe she was who? I can't even read what you wrote. You believe who was Wasa? What's that? Adrian, what is that? She wanted to rip his face off for the disgusting and vile things done to her children. However, she understood that many people were affected by the tragedy, and Amber wanted the Jones family to understand that she has no responsibility for the decision the jury comes to. I see. Hey, Save Ravi. They each agree for the death penalty. If that isn't death worthy, what is? School always doing things like that and then telling your kids and they know nothing. I know, right? So I was like freaked out. I'm like, I cannot do this today. It has been a day and a half. I'm not doing it. And then I get here and I swear right before I came on, my other son called my older, not my oldest, I never know what to do when you have more than one, like, it's like my brothers too. When I say my youngest, oldest brother, they go like this, well, how do I differentiate if you have 3 older brothers, which one I'm talking about? Middle brother, my youngest, oldest brother. So it's always been that way. My youngest, oldest brother. And now the sons, how do I get the second one? He's not my oldest son. He's the second oldest son. It's just, I don't know. I'm crazy that way. But yeah, see, he's like, tells me he's got this big DMV thing he's got to do. And then he needs me to give him a ride because he's got to do something with his car. And I'm just like, okay, thought I was going to catch up on stuff. I guess not. You have seen those school bulletin boards and they just start putting the numbers and letters without proofreading it. Yeah. Well, they have like, I don't know, it looks like those like magnetic letters you see on a refrigerator, like the colorful alphabet ones. And they had 3 things. They have like pre-K graduation, kindergarten graduation, 6th grade stepping up ceremony, science fair, and I'm like, and everything is under June 11th. And the way they have the sign, it is like right, you can't even stop and read it where it is, okay? Because you have to go. It's like that movie where they're like, you're in the wrong lane. Oh, that happened to me today. They changed the bus. Luke he freaked out. He's like, Mom, you can't go there. The bus is going there. I see the crossing guard come flying over to me like her head was on fire, okay? I'm like, okay, calm down. I have to get over there. I see that. I'm not a moron. Okay, you've changed the direction here. I'm sorry. And oh my gosh, they act like, I don't know what I said, Luke, what do you think is going to happen? First of all, there's no kids on the bus. They're emptying out, right? It's not that kids are crossing, and these are empty buses coming out, and it was like you would really think their heads were on fire. Mr. Mom, right? Yeah. It's the what? The stupid. Yeah. Left to drop, or whatever. And then I'm just like, and Luke's like, park there. And I'm like, it's reserved, Luke. And he said, park there. So, oh my gosh, it was just a nightmare. Oh my gosh. And then Luke threw me under the bus, totally threw me under the bus, because we get out and I go to the crossing guard. He said, I'm sorry, you guys have changed the direction here. Where am I supposed to park? I'm a chaperone for a field trip. And she goes, well, why don't you park down there so you're out of the reserve space? And I go, oh, okay. I told my son that we should park there, but he freaked he was like, I wasn't freaking. He was so totally freaking in the car. He would not let me get out of the parking space. You would think that, and he kept doing it. I said, Luke, you were so excited. You don't remember how you were in the car? You were telling me, no, I wasn't doing that. And I'm like, he's saving face here with the crossing guard throwing me under the bus. So we get back in the car. I'm like, what the heck was that, Luke? You were freaking out. You were having a panic attack. And he's like, no, I just told you to move it. Then I said, yeah, I'm like, yeah, right. Read my email text about what? Your email text. What is an email text? Didn't I just read it? I thought I did just read it. The one you had with CS? I thought I did just read it. Doesn't matter what he gets. He will die in prison anyway. They just killed a guy in prison, 76 years old. He committed the crimes in 1980. Justice? You go, girl. Wildlife, yes, and they're thinking about going vegan too. Who is? Your aunts are thinking about going vegan? I didn't get the turtle cam done today. In Scotland, we say our John, our Jim, etc. For our siblings, my sisters and I would say our Maggie, our Kate. Oh, is that? Oh, you just call them our, yeah? But then how do you know, like, how old they are? I don't know. If they're older, I don't know. I'm into, like, description, so that's probably my problem. I was so embarrassed. I know, Teresa. He threw me right the freak under the bus. Literally under the bus, because, yeah. Did Carolyn read my email here? What do you mean? I did read it, Adrien. But it's not an email. It's a chat text, right? Is that what you're talking about? Or did you send me an email? I'm getting very confused. And I can be easily confused today. You're so lucky school's in session. Your son's ended last Friday, Margot? I want to help in any way, but I obviously need to know what I'm defending. Alice, what are you talking about? Have you heard of the two women whose husbands murdered their kids on the same day, not far from each other? Where to, Scooter? When was this? People are not making an effort to make some. Oh, to make sense. I'm not making sense either in no time. But mine is due to lack of sleep, I think. Loneliness, penalty phase is not about Tim or why he did it. It's about what to do with him. Punishment, death works for me. So what do you think? Most of you think, well, we haven't even heard from his family because it's going to be more sob stories tomorrow. You know that, right? I'm not in London right now. Your fake trees. That reminds me, I've got to water my plants. I promised them today I was going to water them. Whatever's clever, electric chair, lethal injection, or the firing squad. Peggy Johnson says, I honestly don't think the jury will ever forget what they heard, and especially what they've seen. I don't want to even imagine those photos that they looked at. Yeah, horrible, right, Peggy? Carolyn, I heard something about Vegas, and I'm here. You got me covered in Vegas? You just need to know what it is. All right, you're our roving reporter in Vegas? Sure. Get it together, Liz, and then come on and do a little report about it, okay? You think he will get life, Linda, but you say death. I don't know. I'm thinking he's going to get life. We'll see what happens. I don't know. I have to wait to the end. But I mean, right now, if you asked me, I would say that it's going to come back life. But then there's still a little bit. I'm not 100% on it yet, though. Life without parole, Alicia. Yeah. You would vote death. So, okay. So those of you that believe in the death penalty, right? And you were on the jury, let's say, hypothetically, this jury, and you heard what you heard, and you heard what Amber said, and you heard what his family said, and you believe in the death penalty, right? Because if you don't believe in it, then don't even put it down. Hearing what you heard, would you vote death or life? Hey, Norma. Lena, yes, yes, yes. I don't know whether death or life. Just put death or life. Okay, so you guys are saying death. Lots of death. That sounds horrible, right? Lots of death. If somebody's just tuning in, oh, I don't want to go to that channel. We've got 1 life, 2 lives, 3 lives. So the majority of you are saying death, 4 lives, 5. But Pencella, if you have religious objections, then you're not supposed to answer, because everybody on this jury believes in the they could give the death penalty. They don't have religious objections. So technically you're not supposed to be voting, but it's okay. I'll give you a pass this time. Hi, Casbot. You're thinking life. You think he wants death? I know he doesn't want death. You want death, but I do what Amber wants. I honestly believe he deserves death, but think he will have a worse time if he gets life. Cowgirl's unsure. Okay, there's a lot of death. The majority looks like death here. That sounds horrible too, right? The majority looks like death. Well, that's a nice way to talk about everybody. Hey, FoxyBot. So he's too selfish to want to die. What if he is put to death and he can follow them into the next life and torture them even more? Well, couldn't he do that anyway if he died? He will probably have a worse time with life, but death to me is appropriate, FoxyBot says. I think Amber really wants death, but doesn't want to be the one to impose it. Could be. I would completely dismiss Amber's feelings if I were on the jury. What about Tim Sr. and his grandmother? Would that sway you? He won't be in the same place as those children, FoxyBot said. Never happened. He's going to hell. He doesn't want death. He wants attention and pity. You agree, R.C. Reeves? I don't think he wants death, but he deserves death. He has no redeeming qualities, and no, the kids are protected by God. Death is the right thing to do, Charlene says, and it's not the easy way out. Chris says he'll be going the opposite way from his children. Dylan says, not sure if I believe in the death penalty, but if anyone deserves death, it's him. Hi, Dylan. I missed it when you came in. You had to restart? Sorry, Bebop. Amber said today she would rip his face off, and she said he should fry him. Fry him. Twice. It's not about what Amber wants, it's about what should happen, Jeannie says. Jules Freedom says too many kids are dying. How do we stop it if we don't say death for him? Patricia says, I used to be supportive of the death penalty, but it's hard to face the possibility of making that decision when I was being interviewed about doing a jury duty panel. Death only if it tucks up and cripples him. Hey, Angela Callie. Yeah, and I'm behind on emails. I know a lot of you emailed me. I'm behind on emails because I've been gone most of the day. And then the rest of the time I'm trying to upload that video that was giving me problems and listen to the trial that I missed and take notes and take care of things around here, like my kids and stuff. So yeah, I'm behind on emails. You don't think he knows what love is, Michelle? Mm-hmm. Tim has lost so much because of death. He's the one who should believe an eye for an eye. Right, Sonny Bunny, a literal interpretation of the Bible, right? Surprised that prosecution hasn't said anything about that. Maybe they're going to do it at the end. I don't know. Old woman says, as a taxpayer, I oppose paying to house and feed him for the rest of my life. I wonder what the cost of the death penalty is compared to that. Because don't forget, he's going to be able to have numerous appeals, and he's got state-appointed attorneys, and then he'll be on death row for how long? And then what about the cost of the whole execution? It's much more expensive, you see. Jill Callis says, why didn't the social worker with the 10 hours of family tree say more about the abuse? Because she was subpoenaed from the defense, Angel Callie. I personally would be absolutely delighted to take care of Tim Jones Jr. Sonny Bunny, Tim should read the part in the Bible about an eye for an eye. Chickadee says, I'm just so glad I don't have to make that decision. Amber did say she wanted him to feel what they did. Correct, she did. Yes. Teacup just use a belt. Yeah, a lot of people think that, right? That they should just get the same, if they're put to death, they should die in the same way that they killed their victims. Your fiance is gone till Friday, so I'm up late. I cannot believe it was near. Yeah, I know. I'm still, FuzzyBot, I'm still recovering from that. Okay? You have no idea. And I had an early day today, and I've got a super duper early day tomorrow, and I'm like, ooh. The defense was unfair, asking family members' opinions. It is not their decision. Hey, FoxyBot, is that you? You have to give me the link for that book. Is it so we can put it in the video? Do you have a link? Is it on Amazon? Dale Hayworth, mini dunks. Because I have so much respect for you, the way you conduct your life and treat your family and friends, and even my enemies. Yeah, especially my enemies, right? Dale, thank you so much. We need to revamp the death penalty when certain the perp did it. One appeal and then kill them in 1 year, save money, and strengthen the deterrent factor. You can play mommy for the night. That would be nice. I was going to give it over to the co-host. Like, right? Like even Johnny Carson had the guest co-hosts. Johnny Carson. I can't believe anyone could defend him. He's worthless. He still has got to face. Okay, so let's just remember that. Who's going to put that down? That, well, somebody that you guys, for the majority, said death, right? That you would if you were on the jury. You're not saying that, you're saying if you were on the jury. But it's so, I find it kind of funny when people they make a mistake and they get corporal punishment and capital punishment mixed up. Have you ever heard that? And they're like, I don't understand. There's not too many schools with capital punishment anymore. I'm sorry. I'm like capital punishment. That would be horrible. They're just kids, for crying out loud. But yeah, a lot of people still do that. They get capital and corporal punishment mixed up. Anyone know which is worse as far as everyday prison life? Well, Margot, if you look at the video I did on Chris Longo, he goes through the entire thing of what it's like on death row where he is, and they are making prison hooch, and they're doctoring up their meals, and they have a flat screen TV, and they get to talk on the phone to stockbrokers and stuff. You should check it out. In this case, the state would execute an innocent person to heck with any appeals. Try him now. No appeals required. Period. Do it. Carolyn, I said death, but honestly, if I was on the jury after listening to Amber today, I'd be conflicted. Yeah, I kind of think they will. I don't know. But I don't know. I don't know. I mean, hey, Michelle. Wow, but Darlie Routier is in isolation. Well, they are in single cells, and they are in a segregated part of the prison. But you should check out the video about Longo. Because, he gave a detailed, really detailed information of what it's like. And then he even mentioned Scott Peterson and how Scott has it, I think, better for some part of it because he gets to go outside more or something. When will the jury decide? Priscilla, they still have at least, they're going to go the whole day tomorrow with, looks like Tim's family. I hope those administering the punishment know the difference, right? Yeah. Sorry, you were talking in class. You're going to the chair. Richard Speck, the serial killer. I got a poop job and hormones. I can't wait to find out what the judge really thinks. He can't say until it's all over, Charlene says. Missouri does a lot of executions. Really, I thought Texas was the leader. But even Darlie Routier, right? She's out in Texas. Leaping Lizard, hello. I'd rather be in a single cell than trapped with a bunkmate in a space the size of a closet. I would probably drive the mate crazy, and he would probably kill me, or vice versa. Yeah, I wouldn't want to have a cellmate. And am I right that they have their own showers in their cells? I didn't know that. Is that only because he's in the maximum security and they can't take showers together? But that's kind of like better, right? Isn't it? Kind of, right? No, Margot, they said something about when he was refusing the meds that they had to back into the shower. And I think it is because he's in like the maximum security unit. And I don't think they could put them in showers together because they'll kill each other. They're in their cells for like 23 hours a day, I think. You want him to get the chair, Hennessy? Texas leads in executions by a lot, Delia says. He also complained that they wouldn't let him run the shower to keep warm. And they can have pets, like cats. I think maybe, Irish Eyes, that may depend on what part of a prison that they're in. Because I think that's more for ones that are going to be paroled and stuff, isn't it? Like Pits and Parolees or something like that. There was a show. I don't know. Peggy says he likes being alone and stays in his cell. Yeah, I do remember. Yeah, Peggy. Definitely, he does. He only goes out for lawyers, doctor appointments, and something else. Every prison should have to grow their own food, vegetables, and livestock. Angel Kelly, that's not a bad idea, right? Would also teach some skills. We were learning today about, it was so funny because there's been this colonial museum and they had the garden, and everybody's garden just started in this area because it's cold, right? So they had a big patch of lavender, and she was telling everybody rub their fingers in it, and that's lavender right behind me in the pot. And so I said to her, does the lavender come back every year? It's a perennial, right? And she goes, because I know I've tried lavender outside, so I'm asking her, I'm quizzing her. And she goes, yes, but I don't have luck with it at all. And then this little girl goes, my mom just killed our lavender. She went out there and cut it. She ended up killing it all. And the kids are the funniest thing, the stuff they say, right? And then the woman, she was an older woman dressed all in the colonial garb, says, oh, it's not just me then? She said, I've tried it every way. I've tried it in a big pot. And I said, I have mine in a pot now. And she's like, didn't work for me. And I'm like, what a killjoy. So then I'm like, I think it's going to work for me. It's looking good behind me. And I said, I'm going to try it like that now, okay? And she's like, I never have luck with it. And I'm like, okay. It does. You have lots of lavender. You outside in the ground, Casbot, it gets cold, snowy, everything, and then it comes back the next year. Sometimes I don't have luck with stuff like that. Like I have a lot of perennials, Casbot, but there's some perennials I feel like I put in every single year because they don't come up again. It's like give or take here. It's cold. You never know. But a lot of times, like butterfly bushes, sometimes they're iffy. Lavender could be iffy. You have a lavender farm not far from you, cowgirl. Wow, up in Canada, that's even colder. Yes, in the ground, and yes, it does. No, then you've got a very good green thumb there. No wonder you have so much chlamydia. It comes back every year. It might be self-seeding. Well, Sharon, the people at this museum said it doesn't, and I don't know, I'm hoping mine in the pot. Can I keep mine in the pot? Can I keep lavender in a pot all year if I, and then is there way, there's ways to root lavender, right? I hope so. I forgot to get my rooting hormone. I have to order it on Amazon. I meant you plant lavender by your door for luck. What about behind me on the kitchen counter, cowgirl? Is that good luck? It's right there, right there. Is that good luck? Good luck? I hope so. I need some good luck. I love lavender. Yeah. It's very calming, right? They smell really great in bags in your closet. I have to find out more. I'm going to do some videos about rooting the herbs, right? And then what we do with the herbs. I have a dehydrator. Is that how you, or do you just hang it upside down and dry it and then put it in those bags? I don't know. You have some dill coming back and you live in Minnesota. Well, oregano is one that comes back over and over. Like I just see, oh, and you know which one that, oh boy, they had it there. They had a little thing of it. If you ever plant lemon balm, you better love lemon balm if you plant lemon balm. I planted lemon balm about, seriously, when I built this house. I have taken it out of places. I like lemon balm. Don't get me wrong. I like lemon balm. It grows like you can't believe. And then you take it, right? And you're pulling it out because it's too much. You throw it in the woods. And then you've got all this lemon balm growing there. Catnip grows like crazy. See, I tried catnip once too. You're half asleep, but you heard lavender. Alley Cattails. My mom has it outside her house, and it comes back every year. Your mint grows like weeds. Yeah. And we have wild mint here too. Quite crazy. You often plant mint in my box garden. Yeah, I have it. That's where I have my mint now. Rosemary grows like crazy too. Yeah, rosemary's over there on the other side. Can I root the rosemary? Can I reroot rosemary? I want to reroot rosemary because I want to give like my daughter some little plants and stuff. Yeah, I've got the it's right here. It's right there. I've got the lavender. You planted 30 lavender. Okay. Can I, I'm going to have to look about rooting mint. Should I get the rooting hormone? Haven't had any problems with those bugs eating the claw since putting lavender. Yeah, I want to do more about using the herbs and stuff. You might be able to split the rosemary, but what about rooting it? Someone said that you can root almost anything. Basil, oh yeah, I have basil outside. Who are mad at me? What happened, Foxybot? They go on these long live chats and you have to keep up with who's mad at me. One is mad one day, friends the next. Did not approve behavior towards her subs. Not like mommy. Night, everyone. Night, Linda. You've got to go to the doctor's early. I'm not going to be on much longer. I have to get up early again and go. Not just early again, get my kids off and can come back leisurely and have coffee and stuff. No. Rooting gel is the best thing ever. What kind, Trisha, Callie? What kind do you use? What kind? Let me write it down because I'm going to order some right after this. I am. What kind do you use? I mean, these people that get mad at each other, one mad. Oh, drama, drama, drama. Not like me. Drama, drama, drama for your mama. J-Bells, what's the best way? J-Bells, I thought she has plastic plants. J-Bells, don't you have plastic plants? Fake lavender. I do have fake lavender because they sent it to me for a blog thing. It's actually an outdoor plant they sell. It's in this ornamental thing. I don't really get it much. Did she give me the rooting hormone? Rooting hormone. Mint leaves are awesome. Yes, they are. If mommy goes to bed early, can some... Where is the rooting gel? Anyone? Rooting gel? Maybe Casbot will take you away. Casbot, will you take these people away? If I go away. Just popping in for a minute. Doulos plead. Oh, I have one more thing to tell you about. Yes, thank you. I have something to tell you about in that case. I knew there was one other thing I had. I have it in my notebook. But I'm waiting for the rooting gel. Who's got the rooting gel? Can you email with the rooting gel? Do you know my email, please? Can you email me with the rooting gel? Because I'm going to buy it. Oh. The one you use is called Root On. Is it good, Wildlife? Root On. Root On. Okay, there is a update in the Connecticut mother missing, right? Did you guys hear that? So he got out on his bail and she's out, okay? Her attorney told her, you better, they don't know if they're still an item, but they told her, you better cut ties with this guy, okay? And I told you the other time that it looks like she's going to be a witness for the prosecution and use Clonex. Now you guys are all giving me Rudex, Clonex. On Clonex. Okay. And so, well, yeah, $500,000, but they have all kinds of stipulations. They are on house arrest and stuff. They have a bracelet on their foot, an ankle bracelet. Anyway, so what happened was with Fotis and Jennifer Doulos, they found DNA in their kitchen that was mixed with both of them. And I guess his attorneys are saying, oh, no biggie, no biggie. That could just be from a recent visit there. But that's not what it looks like. And Michelle Triconis pleaded not guilty. And they have no idea whether they're a couple, but they said, yeah, you better cut all ties. What else did I say here? Oh, and the defense attorney for Fotis says he's so convinced his client is innocent, he would like to have the trial next month, but the judge said no. The guy for the McNabb family murders was found guilty today. You mean it's not McNabb. McStay. Is that the one you mean? It was yesterday. Actually, the day before, because we're already into... Casbot, is the gel better than the powder? I have good luck with the powder, but I haven't tried the gel. Boy, you guys, Peggy, what is going on here? You guys are giving me too much information. Who's got the best rooting? What is Casbot? Casbot's using something, but she's in the UK. Probably don't even have it over here. So the girlfriend turned on Doulos after all. Yeah, and Miss S, crazy? I know. Oh, I'll help you, cover up the evidence after you kill your wife. I'll put my whole life on the line. So, what is... Where did Casbot say? Casbot. Hi, Sam. Why? To you, too. You just got here? We went all over Amber's testimony. You're going to have to backpedal. Mm-hmm. You're late tonight? Or we're early? I don't know. Your catnip grows on its own. I've tried catnip, Charlene, in a pot. I don't know. Charlene, I need someone to weed, okay? Really, really badly. I can show you my peonies, but you're going to see weeds around them really, really bad. Horrible, horrible. But they're not blooming yet. They're almost like you could see probably in a couple of days. Mom wants a glass of wine on the patio, so you got to go. Okay, bye, J May. Have a glass of wine with Mom. Your weeds are terrible right now. You don't even know, no, Casbah. It's more than terrible. Okay, the weeds are bigger than the peonies. Let's not even go there. But Casbah, what's the rooting that you're using? Clomax by Yates. Works on anything, even tomato plants. Clomex. Is that Clonex? Is that, oh, that's, I already have that one, but what is Casbot using? She's holding out, right? Doesn't want anybody to know. I don't know how she operates. Joanne says Clonex. Okay, so we've got a few votes for Clonex. Clonex, another one. Still haven't heard what Casbot's using. I don't remember. Sure you don't. Comes in those little pots for you to put your plants in. So your rooting gel actually comes in pots? So it's not like a little jar? I need a little jar, I think, because you got to dip the little stem in there. I'm not telling them. I don't want them to have chlamydia like I do. Casbot's chlamydia is the most lush and green and prolific than anyone's, and she's not giving away her secrets to her powder. Little parts. Oh, really? With the gel already in it? I want somebody to dip them in, Casbot. Uh-oh, something was burning in Sharon's house. Mommy, I just did research. Clonex has 1,055 star reviews. Yamil, you are very late. Boy. How are you? Very late. Did GB come in tonight? Did anybody see GB tonight? GB's always first, or he's second. If he's second, if he's third. Did GB come in tonight? Westland Organics Rooting Gel. Mommy and all, are we sending in recipes? Yeah, but Miss Coeli, I only got 2. So you were supposed to send in recipes in easy, like medium, and then a really advanced. You check my dippy one. I'm going to try. What would happen if you put some, I wonder if you put some rooting stuff on, maybe in the water or on the pineapple, would it root faster? GB came in late tonight. Okay. GB's been slacking a little bit. What is your dippy? Well, Donna, it's one of the things we're going to do. We're going to get, I don't know, however many people want to be on camera to do a bake-off, like a live bake-off. You'd have to show yourself baking, okay? And you'd have to have all your ingredients. So let's say we were going to do, I don't know, something easy, right? for the, because you can have different categories. So it'd be, let's just say pound cake, okay? Then 7 people are coming on to make a pound cake, and we'll go live. Everybody will have their ingredients, and then everybody will start following the exact same recipe, okay? And we'll chat and stuff during the live, and everybody that's baking can chat to all of you chatters while people make the pound cake. And then who's ever looks the most like the pound cake is the winner, but everybody's the winner. No, you know, that's what we're gonna do. Okay, cowgirl. You know what I mean? But I need recipes, and I need people to not be afraid to come on camera. Life is short, people. Come on camera. I thought so, cowgirl. I had those thoughts that I have. Okay, where am I? I can't find my way back to the chat. Like buttered noodles. Someone needs an easy dish. Someone selling buttered noodles. So yeah, so there's recipes, and then also I don't know. Random guy Jeff said he was going to do something we could follow along. We could do an art night. So he was going to go on live, painting on a canvas, like one of those wine and art nights. And then anybody that wanted to do that one, the requirements are, again, you have to show yourself on camera. And don't worry, we have plenty of space here. I can have 100 people here on camera, no problem. So you would show yourself on camera, and you'd have your canvas and your paints, and who's ever doing the art craft would give the list of supplies, and we'd give it to you enough so you'd have time to shop for it. Now, if anybody wants to do an art craft like that somebody's going to follow along, and it can be anything, okay? It can be decoupage, it could be whatever it is, wood burning. And if there's enough people interested in it, then they could follow along. But I've been saying this for, I don't know, like 3 months, and I can't even get people to come on camera to chat. They come on with a blank screen. So Angel Callie said she made a video of the cake. Which cake is that, Angel Callie? Mom's recipe, good cake to die for. Did you send it to me, Victoria? I think I went to that field trip place as a kid too. Dalia, did you? Maybe. You went to the farm in the homestead in Florida, and this is what the guy was using. It's the same one I've been using for years. Mona, you never email me, and I want to find out when you went to high school and when I did. Please email me. So wait, what is it, Mona? I missed it. Which one are you using? Oh, bone tone rooting powder. Use it sparingly. I get scared when you say use it sparingly. Make sure when you dip that it's not too wet. See, that kind of thing gives me anxiety. You don't even know that when you say, now make sure it's not too wet and you don't use too much. I get anxiety when I see that, but I will put that down. Bone tone. Could I use frozen yogurt instead of ice cream? I've never tried it. I would do a Google search online to say, can I make a homemade ice cream cake with frozen yogurt? And if it says yes, then I would try it. Hey, Carol Lucy. You don't follow recipes. Well, I don't either, Carol Clark, but for some things, but for baking things, I mostly do. You're going to go back to sleep now. You got caught up in a drama vortex without your raincoat on? Oh, no. All right, well, email me later, okay, Mona? What, Bridget? What are you soul sisters about? You don't cook? You don't follow? I'm missing the chat. Feel better, Mona. Don't let the drama get to you. Walk away from it. If I do a baking challenge, I do have to use gluten-free flour. Okay, Jenny Jo. They blame everyone else for their issues. They take no ownership, of course. It's always someone else's fault. Have you ever seen that lady that dips her own candles and craves them? Craves them? I saw a lady dipping candles today at the colonial thing. Sure, Teresa, I can do that. Keep on walking, right, Anna? They should make a replay of these boots are made for walking. That's just what I'll do. I'll walk away from the drama and I'll walk away from you too. Okay. J-Bells, the bake of week can be fun. And you can't blame if it doesn't. Oh, you can. Well, it's good. Can I tell you something? If everybody that comes on is really good, it's not going to be as entertaining as if you have someone there that doesn't know what the heck they're doing. Right? That's more fun if somebody is on there that doesn't know what they're doing. Think about when you're watching like Top Chef. They all know pretty much what they're doing, but you're still looking at the one that's not going to make it. The time is off. Oh my gosh, now they ran out of this and they put the wrong thing. They put salt instead of sugar. So yeah, I mean, it's good. Don't be intimidated, really, because it'll just make it more entertaining if you can't cook. And you might even end up finding out you can. You shouldn't be scared. Just join the easy baking challenge. That would be you, not a clue, Vivian. But yeah, that'll be fun though, right? Be a good sport about it. Don't try making your own baby food. That always sounds better before. My daughter watched that baking fails. Yeah, I'm not sure. Yes, I know which one you're talking about, Sheila. You can bake if I use my Easy Bake Oven. We could call it Nailed It. Yeah. My daughter does the Great British, the Great British. Everything, all cake is a sponge. Which drives me nuts because here a sponge is a certain type of cake. But you know what happens? And I'll tell you, I don't know if it happens to anybody else, but it's freaky to me, and it's always happened. If I talk to someone that has an accent, that's speaking English with an accent, like, especially with an English or, yeah, it's probably, I was talking to Casbot the other day, and then I went to write an email, and the email that I was writing was in my voice, but in Casbot's accent. And then I was using language that I wouldn't normally use. I said, oh, your name is lovely. And I just said, the whole email was in Casbot's accent with my voice. And if I talk to someone like that long enough, I start to talk like them, even in my own head. This is scary, but yeah, happens. You do that too, Sharon? Yeah, it's crazy, isn't it? You're contagious? Chlamydia? Oh boy. No, but it happens. Does she still have it? That brings back memories. What? What brings back memories? Those were my hands waving hello to you. You sent an email of your lavender plantings. Okay, I'll take a look at that. Anyone watch Evil Genius on Netflix? Evil Genius, is that the one with the Pete's, with the bomber with the thing around his neck? If that's so, yes. You too, Carol Clark? It's crazy. Yeah, Margot, yes, I saw that. That was crazy, right? Margot, yes, loved it. I've seen it. The collar bomb, yeah, the collar bomb one, yep. You should hear my accent. Now I'm in New York. I'm such a coaster of who I'm around. Really? Curse of having a stammer growing up, I think. Oh, wow. Okay. So now you're talking like a real New Yorker? You don't have the little, because you've developed, you know that. But I think easily I would probably be worse than you if I was there for maybe a week in London. I would be kicking it up with the best of them because it just goes right in my head. It changes the way I think. And can I tell you, when you are trying to listen to someone, and it's not so much Casbot, but it's other people recently that I spoke to, not you, J Bills, and I was trying to follow along with someone speaking English. What is it called? Is it the King's English or the Queen's English? What do you have it? I don't know. Whatever it is. Okay, it's not our English. And we talk fast. We're New Yorkers. I keep saying, slow down. I can't understand you. What is that? Oh, that's this. Okay. Yeah. That was crazy to try to understand that. Someone speaking English and it's like another language. The Queen's English? Okay. Nothing to vouch for you, but I went out of control. It wasn't appropriate. Are you getting in trouble, Irish Eyes? Good morning, Diana. Staten Island? Wow. Not to be mistaken for Queens, New York. No, that would never, the Queen's English would never be mistaken for Queens, New York. Forget about it. You're bilingual, you speak English and American. East Coast people speak. Yeah, but it's hard. When they start speaking very quickly, they slow down. How about trying Survivor on here? How would we do that, though, in an episode? Could do the baking challenge until the last man standing? Thanks, Jenna. I breed Yorkies for years. The problem is I keep all the puppies. I had a friend like that, yes. Well, she didn't keep all the puppies, but yeah, I totally know that. My fiance wouldn't let me keep doing it. He's gone now, so I guess I can have more. Are you getting another one? Or are you letting them have puppies? You speak Canadian? When I first met my husband, I had to have him repeat half of what he said. Something has to change to many of these cases, a new one every day. What, Rita? They make an example of him. Maybe many others will think twice. Oh, you mean too many of these killings, murders. Yeah. 24-hour live baking. Yeah, can you imagine that? ovens and stuff like that don't mesh well with not sleeping. Oh, you left the oven on? I don't know why I'm starving. I'm absolutely starving. I don't even have to eat something before I go to bed. What happened yesterday, Irish Eyes? I have heard from that after Princess Diana, all teapots turning on almost flew England. What? All the teapots turning on. Why, Cinnamon Hot Hot? I don't get it. Why wouldn't they be drinking? Did they drink tea in an unusual amount because of that? Why is everyone... Oh, from... Are you new, Jenna? I haven't seen you, Jenna Love. Oh, okay. I think she means kettles. But what would have that? I mean, what would cause that for them to go? Wouldn't they drink? I don't understand what it. I'm not following that. I know, Angela Kelly. I'm just trying to sit here and think about what I'm going to eat before I go to bed because I won't be able to. I have to have something. I'm trying to think about what I'm going to have. I guess I need a big RV. Yeah, Bridget. We should get these. We should have the fleet of the Scooby mystery machines. And the school buses. I was on the school bus today, okay? And I really thought, wow, this school bus is... I've been on a school bus in a long time. All went for their teapots. Oh, okay. Toast and butter is always good at night. Yeah, maybe I'll have... I think I have raisin... Maybe I'll have some raisin toast. I'm going to call my mom very soon. I really hope she's okay. You had a dream about... Oh, I hope so, Anna. I hope everything's all right. MRB is a huge part of the population in England turned on their teapots at the same time. But is that a normal thing? Like, if you're upset, then, oh, let's go make a pot of tea? Because I don't think we have the same thing here. I mean, people drink tea, people drink coffee, but the natural, like, I don't, oh, I'm upset, let me go out, make a pot of coffee. Or, I mean, you could have chamomile tea, but I just, it's not the natural reaction when I see something like that. It's like, tea is the answer to everything. Is it, J Bells? Is the answer to everything tea? What kind of tea is the answer to everything? Tell me what kind of tea, J Bells. I've got a lot of tea. Hasn't been answering everything for me, but maybe I'm not talking to it right. Is there a certain tea that has the answers? What happened, Miss Coeli? Something happened? Jack Daniels and coffee are the answer to everything. Should have been American. What happened, Miss Coeli? J-Bells. Did J-Bells answer what kind of tea? We make any excuse to put the kettle on. Carolyn, how about we all camp out in your yard? All right. Normal black tea. Oh, I have drunk so much tea. It's like a British thing. When someone is sad and they don't know what to do, they say, "Shall we make us tea? Shall I make us tea?" British breakfast tea, and they blend it with milk. Okay, so I have English breakfast tea, and I think I have Irish breakfast tea. And then I have the gray tea, not the Earl Grey. There's another one. There's a Princess Grey tea or something for the queens. I don't know what it is. What do you know which one it is? What the heck is it called now? I can't. It's not coming to my mind. Okay, the Princess tea. No, there's some herbal. I have all that. Earl Grey. I have it all. Which one has the answers? It's the Lady Grey. That's right. The Lady Grey. Is the Lady Grey? Lady Grey has answers. I love Timmy steep tea. Oh, you had to take. Oh, I'm sorry, Miss Coeli. Sorry for that. All right, hang on. Gotta check something here. I need the tea with the answers. Okay, got that. You scared me with that word. I thought there was an accident. Oh, okay. Very good. Your daughter says, "Thank you for the congratulations. That was very kind of you." Oh, congratulations to your daughter, Peggy. Let's see. Good morning, Ramblers. Good morning, Lisa. Makes a hot cinnamon tea that's to die for. Who does? Hanny and Sons? Where, Delia, you're in the United States? You're right, are you in Texas? Oh, wow. Yeah, that's hard, Miss Qualley. Prayers are with you. You're in PA. I'm not sure. Where do you buy that? You have a Wegmans? Your meal's delirious? Oh my gosh. Most people in the UK put milk in their tea. Well, I put milk in my tea. So, I mean, sometimes, what about a little half and half? You can put a little half and half in there? When I got offered tea or coffee at someone's house, it was always instant coffee. So I soon boarded the tea bus. Really, they made you instant coffee? Probably not now, J-Bells, with the Keurigs. They probably would have given you a K-cup. Wegmans or Barnes & Noble? Delia? I'll have to check it out. Sure ain't the same without you. Good morning, Carolyn. Good morning. Nat Mac. Jewels of the Northwest. You buy yours on Amazon. Okay. Hot cinnamon spice made with herbal. I have a cinnamon. I wonder which one I have. Maybe I have that. Does it? It doesn't come in those little nice little tins. I think. Which is the one? It comes in really nice. It's not Twilings. Comes in really nice tins, And then the tea is in a little sachet. And I had to buy all the colors of tins because that's how I am. I'm a nut about tins. And I have one that's cinnamon, and it's in an orange tin. Is that what you're talking about? One day I'll take you into that whole cabinet. The one almost next to the sink over here is like full of tea. I have lots, that's what I'm saying. I have lots of teas, but I haven't found one that's given me the answers yet. My daughter buys me this one in the World Trade Center. Well, she's bought it for me in loose tea, and she's bought it in tea bags. It's the Anastasia Earl Grey. It's the Anastasia brand. I have a beautiful tin. She knows I like tins, so. Why even is this instant? You know, instant coffee isn't all bad. They have like the little minis if you have to, you know, have something. It's not all bad. You'll be sending you tea. Okay, all right. Make sure it's the one that has the answers, okay? Life's answers and stuff. Try to make sure. Send a couple of packets of the one that answers questions. So you like sleepy time? I have cinnamon. So, and now I'm looking at cinnamon hot because they just said the cinnamon hot tea, but I don't know. I forget the name. Nobody knows what I'm talking about. Hey, Garfield. It comes in orange tins, and the blue tin is Earl Grey. It's not Twilings. I think I got some of it at Target, maybe. Nobody's following me. Don't take vitamins with tea. Mm-mm. Right, because you won't absorb it, right? Yeah. Black tea, I heard that is Happy Life. It's the black tea. Let me know when you find that. I'm thinking it might be the one that everybody's saying is so great, that cinnamon hot spice tea. I see the tins. Wait a minute. Let me see if it's the ones I have. Does it come in sachets? Because the one I have comes in sachets. And they're like clover, you know, they're, I don't know, but they're clover leaf. They have like, I don't know what it's called. Yeah, I think this is the, wait a minute. I don't see the cinnamon hot, but I think this is the tea that I have. Isn't that weird? But I don't see the cinnamon hot. I see the Earl of Harlem. What is that supposed to mean? And decaf. Who wants decaf? Well, I guess at night, but I wouldn't even drink it. Maybe I would. I shouldn't say that. Collect. Oh, it is. It's 100%. I just saw it. It just came. Well, hold on. I'll show you the one that I. Oh, look at that holiday tea. That sounds lovely, doesn't it? There I am with that lovely again. Yes. Oh, see, and I didn't even think. But look at this one. This. Oh, I'm going to show you this. Those are the tins I have, but I don't have holiday. But I have them in blue. But this is, yep, that's the one. Uh-oh, what happened? Where'd it go? See this one? What is the Earl of Harlem? That Earl Grey tea from Harlem, New York? I don't know. So I do have the cinnamon hot tea, or cinnamon spice, whatever you said it was. I'm just looking at cinnamon hot now that I'm going to think of her as a cup of tea now. I always do green tea lattes. And that's the extent of my tea. I haven't branched out. Oh. Yes, we did. We talked about it in the beginning, Amber's testimony. Absolutely. She did very well. We discussed it at length. Did Harlem have an Earl? I don't think so. No, I don't think so. Toffee? Where did we get toffee from? Make sure you take note. They carry decaf and regular. Right. I have enough of the sleepy time or the chamomile, or I need look at this is so funny. Somebody's back further in the chat and all of a sudden this is how problem this is. Don't you remember when we used to have this? Catherine Allison just goes like this, death. And we had something like this happen one time and people thought it, oh my gosh, it's a death threat. And then we realized she was back in the chat and she's just responding to the life or death question that we asked. Remember? So don't time Catherine Allison out. She's not putting it a threat. She's just talking about life or death. But that happened. That exact thing happened. We didn't understand that for a while, okay? Because we're not quick like that. So we didn't realize somebody could be back in the chat and it would be coming in. You remember that now? Yes. And people were like, oh my gosh, it's a threat. And then we realized. So, but it's funny, you just see this thing and then everybody's talking about tea and then this comment comes out, death. So don't time her out. She's not making threats. She's just answering a question way, way back. Death. Oh my gosh. You figured it out right away? That's because we're smarter now, Anna. We weren't so smart before. We didn't realize. Caps are both hallucinogenic mushrooms. We went from tea to hallucinogenic mushrooms. Snapple tea? You gave son-in-law the wrong drink. I had caffeine. Poor guy thought he was having a panic attack. Really? Honestly, I'm not one that caffeine affects like that. Can't wait till she catches up. See, but I don't understand, like, are they looking at the chat when they're typing that? Because wouldn't they be like, hey, how come nobody else is saying death? Or why is everybody talking about tea? Maybe they don't even have to, I don't know, they have to have the live chat open if they're typing in there. I don't get it. But anyway, I guess I'm going to call it tonight, ladies and gentlemen. So thank you to our moderators. You're wonderful as always. Thank you to all of you. And I will talk to you guys. You need to eat 4 bags of coffee before it affects it. Yeah, that's the same way I am, Casbot. I never understand that. Like, they'll be like this. Watch. Oh my gosh. Did this have caffeine in it? I'm going to be up all night. I got the wrong drink. Oh my gosh. Yeah, and they will be. They'll be up all night. And I'm just, and other people that love caffeine are like, I wish I was like that. I wish one sip would affect me like that, but it doesn't. But anyway, good night all. Thank you. And talk to you tomorrow. Have a good one. Stay safe. Prayers for everybody that needs help. Everybody. That's everybody. So prayers for everyone. Take care, guys.